Which is part on the baking sheet. So I'm not going to bother, but a way to minimize cleanup later is to put down a sheet of tin foil on your baking pan. And then when it's done, you just kind of crumple it up and throw it away. And then you're done. That's way bigger. That's okay. An amazing thing about tin foil is that it doesn't actually get hot the way other metal. So really you can just like crumple it the second these cookies are out. But again, I'm not taking the time to get out tin foil at the moment. And really, cookies don't make that big a mess. Vegetables, that makes a big mess. Put down tin foil for that. Okay. 12 to 15. That means 13. Okay. And we're just going to ball the rest. They can go in slightly different times, it's totally fine. Just pay attention to when you put things in. So you take the first one out a little sooner. Keep these in a little longer. Or you might end up with one batch of slightly softer cookies, which is fine. Because you might find that someone likes the softer ones better and you like the crispier ones more. Or you know which one everyone likes more. Cooking is a try and repeat system. That's not really a phrase. But it's not like try and see what fails, because probably nothing will fail. You'll just know how to make it even better the second time around. Okay, and then the last thing to do with your risotto is to plate it. I am not a platter owner. My dad is, I miss that. But this is kind of a pretty bowl. You really only need to put out how much you and your loved one want. Beautiful. Put that out in some plates and you're good to go. So I've set the table with what limited dishes I have. These are kind of the cutest matching glasses we have. There's some wine. These ring plates I got at IKEA sophomore year. These were brought by a roommate. These napkins are paper towels, but it looks kind of nice. I mean, considering I just put it together in 5 seconds. So work with what you have. And really the fact that you're with the person you love is what makes it special on Valentine's Day. Just kind of making everything a little bit shinier. And producing delicious food. So, snappy and lime. Bon appetit! Cookies are still cooking. That will be the final thing, but it takes like 10 minutes here. Cookies are done! Well, there's water and these are hot, so it is sizzling, which is fine. Right? Yeah, not burnt, so we're good. You want to put cookies on a cooling rack. This is probably self-evident. So they cool on the bottoms too. Okay, well these smell even better than when they were not cooked, so that's always a good sign. The next step is powder them with confectioner sugar. Let's do a few. Let's try that. You might notice that I have everything in these little red topped things, which looks fancy, which is great. But more importantly, it keeps everything airtight. And if you've ever noticed that flour and such comes in these crazy, like, not resealable bags, or sometimes even like paper bags, and those are ridiculous and they like fall apart in the store sometimes. So like, it's kind of required. It's kind of a conspiracy, in fact, that you really need these airtight container things, but they're not that expensive. They'll keep in the cupboard. So I recommend that. Just occurred to me, Mexican wedding cakes do something very similar to this. Actually, these are practically Mexican wedding cakes with chips in them, so that's interesting. You have to do them when they're hot because that's what makes the sugar stick. Just say too that the picture in that book made these cookies look really brown, and I was like, what could have possibly made those cookies brown? Because there's no cocoa in them. Powdered sugar's falling down there. That's great. That's exactly what you want. Ta-da! Do all of them if you want. I'm gonna stick with these 5-ish. These will be fabulous with some tea for your for your special people on your special day. Happy Valentine's Day! Eat good things.